Hello, guys. This is Alex Julian or Aloysius Anderman here, and tonight I will be talking about a subject that should be very interesting for discussion, and it is a subject that I call addiction to bad art. And definitely, YouTube authenticity is in trouble because it's an illusion, and a great portion of YouTube authenticity is nothing more than addiction to bad art. Especially when you remember that Michael Jackson himself said, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm really, really bad. If Michael Jackson would say that about himself, then there is an addiction to bad art that is out there. Because, hey, if Michael Jackson was bad, does that mean that he was a bad artist? Nah, not so much. I'm just being sarcastic. And I give a toast with the sarcasm with a streak of Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar. And definitely this is my toast for tonight with this ongoing stupidity of addiction to bad art. So, addiction to bad art. How did it come to this place of addiction to bad art? Well, people become addicted to bad art, especially when they try to have friends with benefits. They try to make friends in the world. They try to get along with other people. They try to get along with the community. They try to get along with society. They try to get along with the world. And they become attracted to the kinds of art that would be just down there in terms of quality, as in low quality art. And people may search for bad art on purpose, maybe because they find something appealing about the bad art, although maybe it would be something unfair, something ridiculous, something unorthodox, something wild and out of this world. You name it, there is that commotion for these lower scores of expressionism, especially with the kinds of expression that require little to no philosophy. And right now on YouTube and on the internet in general, there's a lot of bad art that is out there. Bad music, bad movies, bad shows, bad books, bad songs, bad matches, bad games, bad video games. It does really get intense when it comes to the sheer quantity of deficient grade material. It does become something of an influence for the dark side when it comes to the commotion and the ridiculous aftermath towards all this mumbo jumbo, towards all this really, really, really immense and intense quantity of below average material. And unfortunately, in terms of YouTube authenticity, and I'm being polite to YouTube about it as well, because I know that I am a part of YouTube and that I am a member of YouTube like other members on YouTube. But definitely I have to mention something about YouTube authenticity because it is important to mention something about it. Right now, technically, YouTube authenticity often covers bad art. Because in this country, it often is legal to create bad art. It is permissible, even allowed, and maybe even a little bit required in some areas for there to be bad art. And yet the bad art is still there, and it does cause a lot of negative influence on us. It causes a lot of turmoil on us as we go forth in society and try to make big names for ourselves when it comes to having that quality of living. And yet, ironically, a certain degree of that quality of living requires acceptance of something 2 shades of the dark side. And definitely because of the sin of man, there is a dark shade in every man that does give leaning to deficient works of expression, as in low-grade material, as in bad art. And it gets to the point that a lot of what we may consider to be low-grade material does depend on a lot of what we may assume about the goodness of life, as well as the harshness of life. Definitely, the more harsh something gets for our lives, the more we may assume that there's something bad about it. And yet, we have to remember, Michael Jackson did say years ago, when he was living, I'm bad, I'm really, really bad. And even the Thriller album by Michael Jackson did mention something about being bad, as in, if you want to be bad, better do what you can, just beat it, you know. I remember those lyrics. But definitely, if you go on YouTube right now and search for random words on YouTube, if you search for music, in particular modern music like hip hop and rap and rock and such, you soon realize a lot of recent music, even by recent celebrities, a lot of recent music has been bad music. And it is related to bad movies and bad shows and bad books. Addiction to bad art is real. That is my subject for this video. People can get addicted to bad art because they're trying to find benefits. They're trying to find advantages. They're trying to find something to work for themselves. They're trying to make friends. Often there is addiction to bad art because humans try to look for unfair advantages when it comes to the circle of life and finding out how to solve problems. And I'm working on this philosophy for this video on YouTube, and in fact I'm working on this video so much that already I've been working on this video for over an hour, but I'm trying to get my video just right just from thinking about it, and I'm deleting old videos and trying to come up with a good quality video here to make it of concern to others that I do care about the subject, that I do care about the ongoing addiction that there is. And it is a very, very nasty addiction. It's the addiction to art that does not help us, art that does not treat us, art that does not benefit us. Although there's the illusion that bad art can somehow offer a lot of conditions of merit. And definitely on a lot of websites right now, to a certain extent, terms and conditions do not necessarily disqualify all of the moments of bad existence in our lives. Bad existence, as in humans hurting themselves, humans degrading themselves, humans self-disrespecting themselves, humans disrespecting themselves. It goes on and on when it comes to the motion of human temper in violation of moral and ethic codes. And it does get really serious when it comes to finding out why, how, and where we seek pleasures for deficient works of creativity. But you can see it in a lot of bad music videos as to why people may become addicted to bad music. Often the reason is because people want to have a drink, or they want to eat something, or they want somebody to sit on the couch next to them, or they want someone to go to bed with, or they want someone to visit with them at a restaurant, or someone to shop with them in a store, or they're trying to look for someone to play with at the park. And definitely there's this notion going on of you scratch my back and I scratch your back. Of course, never mind that somebody can scratch your back with claws that poison your mind. I mean, there's that addiction to bad art that does come from humanity in general when it comes to ongoing pursuits for um, pleasure in life, even if the pleasure is achieved at with unfair means of production. Let me give a toast to that and think about it. Ugh. But what do we do about all this situation when it comes to um, addiction to bad art? Well, obviously, it's not easy to stop addiction to bad art because it's not easy to talk about what bad art is in the first place. Um, People often try very hard to please us, even when people may accidentally, in some cases, may be pleasing us with bad art. Even if some of this bad art is out of intention, as in like it's out of order, or it's just a confusing mess, or it's a brain dump. It does get pretty serious on the mark of it, even when the mark of it is going back and forth, chasing us around, and our eyes are dazzling, and we smell a lot, and we hear a lot, and we taste a lot. And definitely there's that emotion of senses going on, that emotion of taste and reason and wonder. I mean, I have to give merit into this and say that there's a lot of reasons as to why we become addicted to a lot of our mistakes. We become addicted to a lot of our errors. We become addicted to a lot of our irrational ways. I think what it is that the length of human imagination does not guarantee the ongoing pursuits of quality in our lives. Because we may be searching more and more and longer after the shades that we call the virtues and goodnesses of life when it comes to us finding and searching for better answers to our problems. It's not easy to figure out what it is that makes us tick, that makes us believe so much in our own ways when it comes to us having a lot of deploring attraction to lower ends of creativity. Well, definitely, there's something to be said about a lot of this pseudo audience feel when it comes to art and imitation. Um, Obviously, somebody who gets addicted to bad art is likely to have something of a foul, diseased reaction to good art. Um, and that's how addiction to bad art becomes definitely a problem. People can become so addicted to bad art that people start avoiding good art. People start avoiding excellent art. People start vomiting and having disease reactions whenever they see anything that is like good art. And you probably know some people like this here in America, here in the United States of America. These people can become so agreeable to bad art that they end up becoming sick and ill when they try to relate to good art. And that is because art impacts the body, mind, and soul, even if it may be bad art in some cases. And having a mixture of good and bad art in a random bag is exactly what is necessary in American society for a lot of the old people in the American generations. And I think that's why there are a lot of old people in politics who are very disagreeable people. A lot of old people in politics, in particular, old politicians, old celebrities, old police officers, they become very, very, very disagreeable because of their deep, deep habits into foul ways of artistic expression. So, for example, maybe you'll have a police officer listening to rap that is incomprehensible. In fact, it's the kind of rap music in which it's like the sounds of the singer are so bad that the singer cannot even say the alphabet of words correctly. And it does get out of control. It does get really out of steam. But the police officer will be so addicted to bad art that he's listening to it in his car somewhere out there. And hey, this is public display. You know, the police officers go in public with that public display of that addiction to bad art, and it is a growing problem. And notice how a lot of music videos on YouTube, a lot of music videos are full of a lot of irrelevant drama, irrelevant noise, irrelevant notes, irrelevant words, irrelevant sounds, irrelevant meanings. And that is because a lot of fake musicians, as in a lot of fake artists, cannot understand where elementary principles become the sole dividers of human virtue and human agony. And they may think in some way that they are treating very much to the glory of the moment, when really it's more like the downfall that is ongoing for the mistaken natures of foul people, foul humans when it comes to the depictions going on of their dispositions. It's not easy, and it's ridiculous, to say the least. So, I'll put this video a little bit short, just to give you guys a breather, because I'm sure there's a lot of lecture going on here with my video. Maybe with a little bit of ranting, because I cannot be perfect with everything that I do. So what do we do with our addiction to bad art? Well, I think the thing to do is we should become concerned about the existence of bad art. We should become concerned about the existence of good art. And we should ask ourselves, if there is good art and if there is bad art, then how does the combination work for our lives when we put both of these plays of expressionism into our lives and have both of them for reference to our hearts and bodies and minds and souls? As in, if there is good art and if there is bad art, how do we put in the combination to make sure that everything is fine for us, that we are all getting along naturally and we are all getting along and having a good, honest time, and that the price is right and not merely low or cheap. So that's the amount of gesture I have at the moment for this video, and I'll be ongoing with it as the weeks go by, and definitely this is with my tribute to the subject of this video, which I give a toast to, which is about addiction to bad art by the public. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Thanks for listening to my talk show.